there.
Good evening, people. It's Friday night. It's the Sean Atwood channel. We're here with Friendly Fire, myself, Ron Swanson, and the Huffin Samson here tonight with the wonderful Del Harrison as our guest. Hope everyone's had a good week. It's been a grim week, man. Like, we had a horrible piece of human filth sentence this week, 52 years for an atrocity last year. We've got a government here that seems to think that their pitiful attempt to keep kids safe on the internet is going to wash when we can't even keep the kids in our streets safe. So we're here to relax, okay? We're here to chill out a little bit.
We're here to relax.
We're here to relax.
Now, I'm feeling relaxed myself right now.
Well, give it time, Del. Okay, give it time.
Give it time, Del.
All right, just give it time. So, Samson, you are suffering from dial-up internet disease. You just can't get.
Is it my internet? Is that the problem?
Yes.
Ron?
Can you see how me and our wonderful guest, Chris, we're clear? We're coming
Crispy
through.
Clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
we're not the
okay,
ones.
how's this?
Like, if any of us
now,
were going to get
Ron,
stuck. Yep. No. Please do. After you continue, Samson. After you, sir. In fact, let me make you full screen so we can all mask in your freezy language.
But this is so weird. Do you think if I turn my Wi-Fi off and on, will that cut me out of the feed though?
Okay, well, have you got your wireless router? Can you pick up your wireless router?
Okay, I can't pick it up when
turn your Wi-Fi off on your phone.
If you
turn the Wi-Fi off on your phone, so your phone is not using
your mobile phone and hold the back of your mobile phone towards the computer, but you have to stand up.
Okay, I turned my Wi-Fi off.
See, you're clearer already.
Has that improved anything?
Your Wi-Fi's off. How are you online?
Is that better?
No, meaning I told him to turn it off on his phone.
Turn the Wi-Fi on my phone.
Oh man, Americans just do things differently.
I don't know. I'm looking better, everybody.
Yeah, no, he is, because sometimes the Wi-Fi, your phone is using the Wi-Fi, and it's like making you.
Look at this.
How terrible is the Wi-Fi in America?
It's got Ron. Don't even get us started.
Wi-Fi.
Don't even get us started.
Listen,
okay, I'm in real time.
Eggs, healthcare, and Wi-Fi are now the three things that we're lacking out in the United States, right?
Yes.
Is that the only three? Because I mean, I have a video of a lady that just listed out like 1,000 things.
Yeah.
You know, the internet is basically for good-looking complainers.
Damn!
That is funny.
There is some people taking a hard look at themselves right now going, yeah, all right. Damn, talk about summing up the whole industry in like 2 damn words. All right. I have to say, I've had a lot of fun.
Now, Ron, how are things where you are in Scotland?
How are things where I am in Scotland? My phone lit up red with a government warning yesterday. It went meow, meow, meow. Weather warning. Listen, world, okay? This is Scotland, all right? Yeah. Do you know how fast wind has to travel before I'll give a rat's ass about wind? Right? Okay, I'm not being funny. You can give it's so terrifying. Amazon will not deliver anywhere in Scotland till Monday, right?
Wow, the wind is that strong.
Wow.
Is the wind creating fires like it was us? because that's what our
Yeah,
winds
we're
do.
burning it
no.
up,
No,
son.
sorry. The winds, the fires, you've got fires because you're dry and dusty.
Yes.
Scotland,
Yeah, we need to get
wild,
wet here in California.
wildfires in Scotland, mate. You know, if let's say a fire broke out right now, all I'd need to wait is maybe 6 or 7 hours before, and as soon as the sun started coming up, the moisture change would just quench that fire down.
Wow.
In Scotland.
Right.
No, mate, what we do, we have natural water deposits that instead of sending to China, we just keep them, right? And when there's a fire, we just chuck a bunch of it on the fire. And America goes drones, 27 trillion on defense. Don't know how to identify drones in our own country. Don't know how to put out a fire. Okay.
Yeah. Why can't we fly the drones above the fires and then have them drop some type of fire retardant?
Do you know how hot the atmosphere above a forest size? Listen, you know when you go above a candle, right, and you hold your hand above a candle,
yeah.
after a minute you go, because I'm just
that's a good point.
And the candle goes actually higher when something it has something to reach.
It's okay. Every
right
week
now here is another idea.
Samson on things, and this week
I
it's
have
on how fireworks.
I have another idea though, Ron and Del.
Okay.
There is a video that I saw online of two like MIT students who had a bass cannon, and they were using bass sound waves to put out a fire. So I'm saying let's get a helicopter with a giant subwoofer and just Bootsy Collins be like, boom, 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 bow, you know.
I love of like the sassy Samson. Yeah, no, the sassy Samson alternative fire brigade, right? Where you have this
big, and this is it,
mega helicopter, and there's Samson strapped on the front like one of those guys from fucking Mad Max with a big guitar with a water cannon coming out in front of it. Hell yeah.
And the government is like, fly in the army, the band for the army, fly in the army orchestra to put out these
yeah, but a simpler solution,
it's like Led Zeppelin,
I think a simpler solution would be to have a non-corrupt government that definitely wasn't encouraging fires to burn up evidence in certain homes containing certain celebrities, concerning certain lawsuits that are going on right now. Also,
you are getting.
You know what, Ron?
Ron.
Seriously,
who are you talking?
I don't know. Samson, how crazy is this? So Sean and one of the other co-hosts have been named in a new lawsuit where Diddy is suing one of the guests we had on, and Sean and the other co-host have been named. Not even Diddy has the balls to put me in a lawsuit, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know
I
what
did
I'm
just
wondering?
see he had a lawsuit for defamation of character. You know what, Ron, to take you back to what you were saying. First of all, I need y'all to send us those water deposits over here. Okay, that's what we need from Scotland.
No.
But then
also,
I was just thinking about, because of course, guys, as a Black person, I always got to do it to Black conspiracy. Altadena is a Black neighborhood. I don't know if Palisades, what race is out there. But a lot of probably Italians, Black celebrities out there, and this country has a history of burning down thriving Black neighborhoods.
Wait a second.
Very
now
true.
I need to push back. Are you trying to tell me and my audience that America has a cultural history of doing terrible things to African Americans?
No, Del,
that is
spreading these lies, Del. Controversial. Spreading these lies, Del.
It's like a bunch of dudes in an office, right?
Riot.
And they're like, "Okay, guys, listen. It's the classic white neighborhood, Black neighborhood conundrum for the fire breathers this time round, because you just got a bunch of politicians wafting the fire like this one. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. And if we're talking about conspiracy, which we are, we're talking about the possibility of evidence being covered up and all this kind of stuff. I feel like they just at this point, when we're talking about the cabals and the evil overlords, I think they do it just for their own entertainment at this point. Dale, I'm not even being funny. They're just like,
I think they sit around a table and they're like, how can we make them move this way? What can we distract them and freak them out with this
No,
week,
no.
and I want to
No, no.
ask too. This
Seeing
was
distraction is a
Yep.
a key word,
Yep.
because we're all, we're constantly being met with distraction. And you know what? I did hear, my homegirl did tell me, because I get all my news secondhand. My homegirl did tell me that they were investigating some kids that were putting gas on trees and starting the fire. So,
Of course, yeah, of course.
I wouldn't be surprised.
100%. I realize that a fire of that devastating size definitely boils down to 2 or 3 crazy kids with a couple of 100 milliliters of flammable. I mean, Adele, it reeks of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And again,
Yes.
those kids were they were deeply offended by the Diddy and Jay-Z case, and it had nothing to do with that whatsoever. But I'm telling you,
And look at the timing.
Yeah, of course. The timing's
I mean, the timing. Sorry to cut you off, Ron, but it was like Trump coming right into office. Trump is literally in California right now talking about withholding our aid money until we have you have to show ID to vote. Voter ID. That's his big deal out here, but which is really meant to disenfranchise voting.
Black Americans. Yeah.
Right, for Black Americans, Latino
Wait.
Americans.
Wait. How does so he wants ID for you to get your state benefits? Is that what you're saying?
No, to vote, just
to vote,
which I don't completely.
Why the hell would you let anyone vote unless they've got an ID? Like, what is the problem?
I don't know, because they're worried that it would be an illegal vote, but I feel like when you
I think he's really targeting the Latino, the undocumented immigrants with that, because if we're citizens,
but they
then
can't
we will
vote
have
anyway,
an ID.
though.
They
can't vote anyway, so I don't. Yeah.
Just so everyone's aware, I am, and this is respectfully, and we can all get on. I am very much part of team. Get the fuck out of here and reapply when you want to come back in with actual paperwork and be legal for my country, your country, all countries. So
right.
But if you feel differently, I respect that, and we can still get on. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I really.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Sam.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I'm not as harsh about that, because we have probably undocumented immigrants who might clean our house, and I'm not saying that's all the positions, but I do agree. I get it. You have to come in legally, but most of the people who are coming in illegally, they're literally fleeing somebody trying to kill them. Like,
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry how crap the world is. I'm sorry how crap the world is. But if I'm a leader of a country, I put the people of that country first, and I open my doors. If you want to come through and you have paperwork and you come through legally, great. If you're fleeing war, let's take all of that out of the equation.
Yeah, asylum.
That's a refugee. Right, not somebody trying to come over, because there's a lot of people that make up a lot of things to try and get into a lot of places, and we have had atrocities in this country. You've had atrocities in your country. I feel sorry for the mums who go to drop their kids off at school in New York and can't get their kids into school because the school is now housing. And you can call me harsh.
What about in Scotland, though? Is this an issue in Scotland, or okay? Yes. I didn't know. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay,
so where are immigrants coming from in Scotland that they're closing the borders to, I guess, or what is, because ours is predominantly Latino, Haitian immigrants.
So, it's all coming from oh man, I can't. Do you know what? Rather than me try and pretend like I can name the countries, right? I'm not even that interested in which.
Do you want me to pretend to do it?
Hold on, Scotland.
Go ahead, Del.
Because guys, we're trying to figure things out, and remember AI, we can just go right there. I just said where is Scotland's immigrants coming from, and it says, they're coming from Ireland, Italy, Eastern Europe, Poland,
the Irish,
Germany, Nigeria, the United States. Okay, I want to take it back to something that's hilarious, though. Okay, because they're talking about closing the borders, but I have driven across country, I think 3 or 4 times within a year, And honey, if you're going to close the borders down, you also need to close the people who would let people cross over the border, because everybody at the border is
Right?
Mexican.
Yeah. You
Like, you
see,
know what I'm saying? Like, I think I ran into one black, one, like, I don't even know. I think she might have been mixed with Mexican, because everyone is. So it's like, you think about it, it's almost like trying to say no black people can come through TSA. Honey, everybody at TSA is black.
Everybody's
So
black.
they're gonna, you're gonna have to. So that I thought that was
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I think the
wait, Samson. I just want to wholeheartedly say,
go ahead.
for me, this only reflects my opinions on military-age single men turning up with no children, no family, no connections, no nothing, no criminal background check, and then we have young ladies who are subjected to horrific attacks. Now, yes, those attacks can happen by natives of this land, but you would probably take a good chunk off of the quota of these crimes happening over a percentage of a population by removing individuals who've come here to cause shenanigans. And I ain't taking it in 2025, man. 2025, we're moving on. But listen, do you know what, Del? We're not here for that. We're here for you. We're here for you.
We're here for you, Del. That's great.
I love attention.
I want to hear about you. So tell our audience, our community, who you are, what you're kind of known for, and then we'll kind of gear into that, because Ron almost very nearly derailed his own podcast by triggering himself. So let's hear all about
hey, it is easy. Yeah, that's the whole point of this friendly fire too, Ron, is that there's so much going on in the world, and we're trying to at least highlight some funny and positive.
There is so much going on into the world. And let's highlight me,
Miss Del Harrison, to tell everybody, Del and I have been friends for a long time.
A long time, 9 years.
She's directed 9 years. So probably let's just call it a good 10 or 11. She's directed and produced all of my podcasts and live show for the Netflix As a Joke fest. Del,
what an honor.
Co-wrote, co-produced all of it.
With
I don't me. So Del, tell. Yep.
I don't think we've met anyone, Samson, that you haven't got a continued and sustained pleasurable relationship with since you met. Everyone that you've brought on, you've got a rich history with, and I think that's testament to just your who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? You're either somebody that everybody uses, right, because you've got access to things, or you're just an awesome guy.
Right.
And I honestly think
you're
one of the nicest individuals that I've ever worked with.
I agree. I agree. I even got a Thanksgiving invite to Samson's house.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
And although I didn't show up because it was my first Thanksgiving, I could just sit on the couch and do nothing. But then somebody forced me to come, my old job. But, our old bandmate, actually. But anyway, it is authentic, and it's every word is true about Samson. He is such a genuine person and wants the best for everyone. And I'm just honored to be a friend and honored to be included. And actually, Samson, too, I'm going to be recording my live album, and I keep thinking about you for a duet song that I wrote. So
I would love that.
I feel like, because Beyonce has the country, and I kind of wrote like this country song like a long time ago, but I keep thinking about our voices on it together. And
listen, I'm not being funny, but I could show you some footage of Samson singing at the Apollo Theater right now that might completely derail your thoughts for Samson singing anything. I mean, his rap career, I can give him props for, but the singing,
his singing career, no, he can blow.
Yeah, well, you've seen when I got booed off the Showtime at the Apollo, Del. But Del's, I have other clips.
Also, guys, everybody gets booed off of the Apollo. That's why I have never even signed up.
Yeah,
people are actually getting tickets to a show to boo people, guys.
Well, I mean, I can stand by that. 100% of the people that I know of that have performed there have been booed off. 100%.
Yeah,
so I can confirm that completely.
And Ron, just to let you know, I'm being selective about the people I bring on. I'm not bringing on the people who hate me yet.
Oh yeah, listen, I
want to save that. I want to save those.
I'll be honest with you. I think we're at a stage now where if anyone came on here and said a bad word about you, they'd probably wake up with some very questionable posts on their Facebook that they never realized that they'd made during the night and canceling themselves. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have
I
to
was
You
worry.
telling
got
my
like
friend.
1,000 comments going.
Yeah, don't worry
Yeah,
about the
no,
comments.
this is the real deal. This is Sean Atwood's channel, but this is Ron, the little yum yum
Yo, yum, yum.
Swanson.
I'll be honest.
Also,
I feel like ever since we were named in a second Diddy case, YouTube has basically shadow banned the channel. But that's all right. We'll power through it. We'll power through it, mate.
we're gonna
Do you know
power
what I mean?
through it. That's
Of
what
course
you
we're gonna
have to
power
do with
through it.
content. You have to power through it.
Yep.
So
Power.
back to you though, Del. Please tell people a little bit about yourself. You're a singer, songwriter, actress, comedian, and then I'll let you take it from there.
I'm a singer, songwriter, actress, comedian. I hope I don't go off because I just joined in, like I signed in to my YouTube.
You're still
Guys,
here.
I am okay, great. Okay, thank you so
Nice.
much for putting that up. Yes, guys, I've been out here. Actually, yesterday marked my 20-year anniversary in comedy. 20 years. And it you know, somebody says she don't have to, he just did it. Yes, I love a person to go before me and tell me everything. So I've been out here. I'm also a producer, like Samson said, produced a lot of things, my own shows, his shows, and I love all things. I love the arts. I just want the arts to buy me a house on the hills, guys, and then I'll be done. Okay, that's it, guys. That's why I'm out here. Okay, so subscribe
House
to my
in the
YouTube channel so
hills.
I can get monetized, guys. Okay, that's
Let's
it.
go. Let's go. So
That's really where it's at.
20
You're right, Del.
20 years
Subscribe to
sort of
all of
puts
us.
you in the realm of pre-YouTube, pre-social media major worlds, right? Do you see the social media shift? Because obviously there is a shift. We've seen the president this year use Joe Rogan and various other podcast platforms under the advice of his newly graduated teenage son. Do you think that, what is your opinion on the new world 20 years on, with how people can interact, get famous, and really push their content out, if you will? What's your take?
You know what? I like how you can take control of your own career to get directly to the fans. The only downside to that is if you're just now starting to do it, you're going to be behind the kids that have already taken control.
It's like a snowfall.
Of the career.
It's like a snowfall, right?
Yes.
And
But
if you're there hour one, people are going to notice you, right? But if you're 6 weeks into the blizzard,
I
there's a
know.
lot going on now, right?
I know.
You're
So
gonna get a snowfall.
But
That's
the
right,
thing
Samson.
is,
That was
people
the
come up
analogy,
every day.
Samson. You nailed it. Samson
You
nailed
said
the
what?
analogy.
Thank you.
I'm saying Samson nailed the analogy. I apologize for
What
interrupting you.
I missed it. Samson, what was the analogy?
That he was pointing
Just
out
then
this.
you get the snowfall. It's just an
Yeah.
immature jerk off joke.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I missed it,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's
Um,
way
Which is
above that.
sometimes
Del is
when
way
he
above
says
that. I'm
stuff,
sorry, Del.
Dale, sometimes we need to let him put his picture up on the fridge, right? And just let him get his feedback. No, I'm busting your chops. I'm sorry, man.
That's
Dale,
exactly
carry on.
why I missed it. Okay. No, but it's true. But the thing is, you still can make a way. I mean, I just started a podcast because the thing is, I mean, I just started my own like show on YouTube because I already had subscribers. But the thing about those subscribers is sometimes like I was doing a lot of sketch videos, especially during the pandemic. And so I have a fan base, but those people are not the same people that will attend a comedy show and fill up a theater.
Right.
So I have a lot of like kids and their grandparents because they're watching those videos together and they're like, I recognize you. You're Tyree's mom. I recognize you from all these like other things, but you need to constantly be growing and reaching the new audiences.
Was it an addition of a new fame as opposed to feeling like you were growing what you already had?
No, it's completely new. In fact, like even though I have like 7,000 subscribers, I just consider myself having 100 subscribers because it's just the new people that are actually the target audience. So I have some old people that were there, maybe there was 30 of them, and then 100 joined. So it's just 130 people that is actually the people that will come to a show. Like the people that are like, oh, come, where can I see you? Because those other people, I'm recognizing them everywhere I go, but they're not the people that I'm going to speak to.
Here's the thing. I think there's a solution, right, coming in the trending midst of the internet that I think I have foreseen. Okay, because streaming and podcasters and creators went from you feeling like you had something special that was out of the mainstream, right? That's why people came to people like me, to other streamers, whatever. But it's so oversaturated now, and we have to speak a certain way. We can't really do what we're doing. So I'm going to call this now that the new trend is entirely offline. Isn't live shows, it's community based. So imagine you grow a private Discord server to 10,000 active community members, and you go on there once a week or twice a week and have 7,000 to 8,000 of those people watching a show that only exists if you watch it in that moment. You've got sponsors, you're pushing them, whatever. That to me is going to reignite that personal moment that we had with streamers originally. And that is exactly what I'm steering towards. So tonight at 9:30,
because
on Discord, I will be doing my very first community podcast with everybody that's on my Discord. We'll be doing some games. We'll be having a few beverages. We're having a bit of fun. We tested this the other day. It was a great fun, and it means that we can.
What platform is it? Is it called Discord?
It's called
Discord.
Yeah. It's very much, it's online, obviously. It's still an online internet.
Right.
You need the internet for it to function. But it's not going to be
And is there no censoring on that, right, Ron?
No. It's basically
That's
like
what's great about it.
Think of it more of a glorified DM. Like imagine it's more like being in your own DMs, or imagine a 1994 forum-based website where you've got pages down the side that's like pictures of my cat, favorite food, Ron's new uploads. You click on those rooms, you interact with those rooms, and instead of it being posts, it's just a continual chat.
It's a show.
It's a continual chat like you would in a DM, right? So we've got about, I don't know, maybe 300-400 people. I kick people out quicker than I bring people in, put it that way.
Right.
And
somebody's asking how they can get on Discord.
The Discord's closed right now, mate. Sorry, party's closed. But next week, by next Friday, everything will reopen. If you want to be part of it, you're going to have to bring some ID. It's going to be treated like any other adult club. There's a reason why
Discord voter suppression going on.
There's a reason why people don't piss around at the golf club, because the golf club knows where you live. They've got your credit card number, and they've got a picture of you, and they can socially ruin you. So Ron needs you to know no one's going to be turning up to my little internet village and pissing my cornflakes. Okay? So if you've got good intentions, there'll be no problems.
I just was listening to a motivational speech that was saying the same thing this morning about creating, but he wasn't saying Discord. He was saying creating in your Facebook chat community where you're just giving information.
Sure.
And then when people when people are looking for that service, you'll be the one that they turn to because they're in your community, so the guy was just saying
and speaking of motivation too, Del, I wanted to be able to play a little bit of your Never Give Up song music video. If you don't mind, would you like to, is that okay, Ron? Can we play a second of that for the peeps to, just, we're talking about getting inspired, and this song that Del wrote, it's literally, I had it on repeat in my car. It's one thing as an entertainer and a performer, entrepreneur, just, somebody who has a dream and you're always told not to do it. And Del's song, Never Give Up, is the name of it, is very, very inspiring. So tons of us this is like our anthem a little bit. And so I just wanted to have Del play a little bit so that people could kind of hear it.
Thank you so much.
So they can be motivated by the message as well. To never give up, but also never quit.
Yes.
So
Oh, no, sorry,
yeah, in that
I just got a
video.
message. I just got a message from the boss saying,
Uh-oh.
your previous stream got us banned on Facebook for a month. Don't sweat it though, bro. People are complaining about censorship over there because I said the word that begins with a T that you would use to describe an extremist, you know, somebody that would terror, you know, a
Oh
terror symbol,
wow, you
right?
said that on this
No, no,
podcast
but
now?
yeah, but no, not this podcast, my one from earlier today, right? And I was reporting on news that was already reported on. So I'm reading that word from a news report. And they're like, mate, you're out of here. So spicy, honestly.
Wow, what word was that?
Oh, so
you know,
yeah. So
hold
the people
on.
that, so for example, the people that flew the planes into the towers were a group of, you know what I'm saying? But we can't finish that word because
Can I write it?
Sure.
Ron, can I write it and show her?
It rhymes with schmererist. All right.
Yeah.
It rhymes with schmererist. All right.
Yeah, or hairist.
Absolute madness, mate.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah, welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, well,
all
so
right,
that's on YouTube. So here's what's most interesting to what is happening now is the suppression almost on all social media platforms.
Yes.
Which,
oh my God.
Which shows
Samson.
Ron,
do you know what though?
To your point of a Discord. You know?
Totally. But since I pay my bills with social media, YouTube, you're awesome. All algorithms are super.
No, YouTube, we love you so much, YouTube. We'll never.
Yeah, we love
YouTube. Awesome.
YouTube, we love YouTube.
We'll never betray you.
Hail
YouTube.
the Google gods. Hail the Google gods. Yeah, 100%.
Thumbs up.
We weren't about to start shit talking on the platforms to pay our bills. love you, algorithm. I love you. So what was it? Can you link me the song, bro? Because I don't have the song.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, all right, no problem. So
I got everything else. I got the comedy sketches, unless the songs.
Del, tell us about the song, though. Del, just lead us in. Like you wrote this song.
We love algorithms, Helena. We love them so much.
Love them, mate.
I love you, Little Miss Madhead.
Yeah, this song is an up and coming signal from Del's new album. We love algorithms. AI are our overlords.
I'm trying to find the link.
100%.
And when I tell you, ChatGPT is my new man, you know, that's the third thing.
You know, I love ChatGPT. I love people that embrace AI. I love people that embrace AI.
I love chat. Like I have written so many proposals. I've done so much research on chat, and you know, and of course, you know, I'll fact check chat too because you know I want it to be real. But I've written queries.
Just send it, Ron.
Everything on chat.
I refer to it as just collectively my AI PA. That's basically how I see it now.
Yes,
I've got a copywriter. I've got a thing because listen. I'll be honest with you. I speak as if I've got a fully functioning brain, right? But if you were to put me in like a 7th or 8th grade spelling bee, I don't know how I'm going to come out in that situation, Del. Like, there's going to be like 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's how I'd be in a math competition.
The maths I'm okay with as long as it's proper math, none of this triangle pish, right? And you know what I'm talking about.
I can do anything.
Don't come to the table with the triangles, okay? There's about 7 people on this earth that need to know the equations for that. The rest of them are woodworkers and they have tools to measure stuff. Okay.
Right. There's only one triangle I care to know about.
Of course. Now, see, I got that joke right away.
There's a place.
I got it. Because I'm a triangle holder. So, you know, I get triangle.
Yeah, you're a holder. That's funny.
There's a place in Edinburgh that has all the dancing lady bars. It's called the Pubic Triangle in Edinburgh, if you're talking about that. Don't know if you're talking about
Pubic Triangle. Wow.
It's called the Pubic Triangle, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, listen, this is Scotland.
You know what?
Listen, this is Scotland, man. That's not disgusting. That's not cringe. That is a place that like people refer to as common slang. Scotland's different, mate. And this is Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Right. And everything outside Edinburgh to me is north of the wall from Game of Thrones. It's all wild Scotland where they're all running around in like clothes that they've made from like the skin of a rabbit and stuff like that. I don't care.
Wow.
I gotta come to Scotland. I gotta come to
no,
Scotland.
you gotta come to Edinburgh. The rest of it's mad.
Yeah,
right?
Edinburgh.
Mad.
We need to get into the festival.
Do you know what? If you ever manage to get into the festival, I'll let you sleep on my couch because you ain't getting accommodation. I'll tell you that right now. You're more likely to find somewhere to put on a show than you will somewhere to stay. So if you guys if you guys want to do it, I will. In fact, you know what? I've even got a spare room. I could even put a bed out for you because I would love to see anyone that wants to do comedy come and try the Edinburgh Festival. And other than sleeping in a tent, do you know what? Just for fun, every week on a Friday, we should look up what's the soonest time we could book an Airbnb for the Edinburgh Festival. I bet it's like 2028, right?
Wow.
Right, it's insane.
Years ago, a friend and I, we used to live in his house. It was his granny. She passed away. He got the house, and it was at the bottom of Edinburgh Castle. It was like primo real estate. And every year we would move back to our parents' house over the festival and rent out every room for £1,500 a week for however.
Wow.
And there was 3
That's
rooms.
Insane.
3 rooms, and that was 20 years ago. So now it's
when is that next comedy festival run?
At the same time it is every year, bro. Like end of the summer when the kids go back to school, roughly about then.
All right, we need to start applying to that. Now, Ron, I have some late breaking news. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Fat Shadow. Okay. He is saying Barack Obama is apparently dating Jennifer Aniston, and him and Michelle are getting a divorce. Is this a rumor?
I'm telling you this.
That is a complete rumor.
I am telling you this right now.
This is your They're saying it's Joe Obama. He's white. I'm
putting you down there. I'm putting you down there, right? So this is your one time that you're allowed to act like a Facebook mum with the AI news and come up and be like, "Is this 6-foot owl real?" No, mum, it's AI. Oh man, can we just all for a second?
He's saying, Obama is dating Jennifer.
Obama is not dating Jennifer.
Right.
That Obama's not dating Jennifer. Guys, I just already know.
Wait.
How do you know, Del?
It's fake news. It's fake news. Okay. Obama's not leaving Michelle. He's not leaving his kids. He's not leaving 60 mil. And Jennifer Aniston, you do not have that much pull to get Obama.
Which Jennifer? I got two quickly. The one from Friends or the one that went out with Diddy? Which one are we talking about? Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not J-Lo. It's Jennifer Aniston is what my friend is telling me now.
Jennifer Aniston. Now, if you said Jennifer Aniston was dating Brad Pitt again, yeah, that would be true.
He says, my friend is saying Obamas are divorcing. That is a fact. Is it? Look at, what do we... And here's the thing, Del. Let me just point out that, whether or not this is true or not, what I believe this also to be is I'll call it what it is, a somewhat conservative, alt-right, racist talking point. They've always tried to break on the Obamas. You know what I mean?
Wait.
Michelle, hold on, Ron. Let me finish. Let me land. Where they said they compared Michelle. She was a man that that they always talk about her looks. They always talk so much shit about the Obamas, but then Trump, who does all these just cheating, philandering, all this crazy grab him by the pee type of stuff. So this is an old stereotypical trope that black men are not good fathers or black men are not.
Do you know what this is? You know what this is? There's 2 teams in America. There's the 2 teams of political parties. There's those that will put up with the PDF nonsense and those that they will not put up with the PDF nonsense. And sadly, I'm sorry, if you put yourself in the public eye, right, you put yourself up for self-criticism. And if your wife's going to get her chops busted, then she's going to get her chops busted. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the part of the parcel of putting yourself on the internet. I am subjected to it. We're all subjected to it. I have no sympathy for any of these politicians, man, that facilitated any kind of parties, right, where tens of thousands of dollars were spent on hot dogs and chickens and pizzas, right?
I get it. I'm just saying, but is this rumor? Is this a fact? Del, Del, you're a black woman. I won't let myself talk about your experience at all. But do you think this is fact or fiction? And of course, too, we can talk about, also Elon's, his schmatzy
I want to hear
salute that
Dale's
people
song.
are.
You know what? I want to hear Dale's song.
I know
Screw
we
these
didn't get to that too.
bullshit
That's true. Screw the
politician, like
politics.
evil overlord, like a fascist bloodline cabal running ritualistic, like just
Guys,
madness.
let me respond, and
Yeah,
then
please
let's
do.
hear the song, since we
And
have
then we'll
changed
go
the
to the
mood
song.
of
Go
the
ahead,
song.
Del.
Okay, because the
Mhm.
song needs to come in like something that's more uplifting. So let
Okay.
me
Very
respond
true.
to this, then let me get some kind of like motivational quote, and then let
Yeah,
me
hell yeah.
introduce the song.
Mhm.
Okay, the thing about it too is, one, we're always being distracted. The other day I looked up all of the ways that we have been disenfranchised by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And they both had, and then I looked up all the ways they've helped, and all the ways, but from both parties, and they both had the same. So we're always dealing with, like, we have to deal with individual acts, because everyone's evil. Everyone has, even, Obama, he signed into gay marriage. Like, now, no offense with the gays or whatever, but I'm a person that believes in the Bible, and
I'm
marriage is
fully
between a man and a
listen,
woman.
gays. I stand with you, gays. You get that marriage. You get that marriage. Don't worry. Listen. Don't worry about the Jesus
Oh,
crew. They'll
okay.
get over it in the years to come.
Okay,
Okay.
now
I
listen.
support you too,
Now
Adele. I support you too.
Trump is in office. Okay, Trump said there's only going to be two genders, male and female. Now, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I am definitely supporting of male and female gender. Like, that is, what I'm saying. So you have, when you're looking at, and this is what's important too, is you have to always look at, and this is whether you're black, white, gray, whatever. You have to look at the individual act at the time, because everybody, politics is about power, and everyone is doing something for, for their own benefit, and hopefully it benefits the people because we voted for them. But again, you have to look at the individual acts, because again, Trump was the one in 2018 who signed permanent funding for the HBCUs. So, you know what I'm saying? That had never been done before. And he took the access to the funding out of the Congress hands and put it in the White House hands. So
But,
when you
I
think about,
think there's.
but then, Biden had the Affordable Care Act. I am a direct beneficiary of the Affordable Care Act when they handed out 10,000 to people who had small businesses that needed to recover. So again, you need to look at the individual acts. Now, am I going to jump on one side and jump on? No, I'm on the Lord's side. Okay, that's it. That's the side I
No, there's
represent.
one thing. There's one key point that you've missed from him signing all of those. What was it he was signing again? It was the act and the legislation, right? I mean, all of those things that he was signing. The main point that everyone should have been paying attention to was the size of that pen, right? And
The size of this pen. Well, and people, Ron. So my friend who's
Listen,
listening
size does
is
matter,
saying
guys.
that the news is breaking because people are wondering why Michelle did not attend Jimmy Carter's funeral or the inauguration.
Because
And
she gets tired of
I
y'all.
said,
I'm gonna tell you why.
yeah.
Okay, guys, as a black woman that is off work, okay, she don't have to come. Like, that's the thing. When you think about people who have been attacked from the media for 8 years consecutively, now the people aren't focused on what Trump is going to do in the loss of Jimmy. They should have been reporting on all the great things that Jimmy Carter did. No, they took a moment to attack Michelle Obama for not attending. Why is her attendance of that importance? She off work. She's no longer. She
okay,
is no
but people are saying, but
first lady.
People
She
are
doesn't have to
saying, but
come.
Kamala was there. My friend is saying that this is, and I'm giving this other side talking point that Kamala was there. So and she was obviously attacked. So, which I agree with you, Del. But go
Kamala
ahead.
was at work. You think Kamala is gonna run over to
Right.
some crazy man? Kamala's at work. She is still the senior. She is still the vice president. She's at work, so she is fulfilling that duty. She cannot not be there. Michelle has nothing to do with this country anymore, besides being a loyal citizen of this country, and she does not have to come. People forget that you can exercise self-care and say, I'm not gonna do it. Listen, I feel bad that he's died. God bless, but I'm not gonna be there. And the podcast and the news and all they focused on was Michelle not being there. Okay, because they use any event to attack a black woman.
Yeah,
okay?
I get that. I get
That
that. But
part.
that's one interpretation. Have you ever considered what Prophecy Cat would do?
The prophecy is true.
See, Prophecy Cat was off work at the time too. Prophecy wasn't
Cat
there
took the
either.
day off. He was off that day.
Like, no, I can't support Jimmy right now. It's my day off.
Day off.
Yeah.
Day
off. He's saying she hasn't been to anything in the last 4 months. But I think, again, to your point, Del, the difference is she's not working. You know, Kamala's the vice president, so and I get the funeral. But he's saying, my friend's saying your points don't play, Del.
Send this directly to your friend. Tell your friend we're trying to do a podcast here. And if he wants his own podcast, maybe write down the things to talk about, start his own podcast instead of derailing my podcast about some American politics madness that honestly, I unless I can bust chops about it because of the size of pens and stuff like that, I'm not interested, mate. I'll be honest with you. I'm all about saving the kids, putting the bad men in prison, taking them all down. And sadly, we've got way too many of them in our governments completely. It's like an inner voice that whenever people start, and I feel like I should know what they're talking about, but we're from different countries. My ADHD is. It goes mad. So listen,
Vanessa, I'm with you. Who died?
You know what I love about this, Ron, is I'm going to bring this full circle to Michelle Obama is somebody who should inspire and empower everybody, all women, all people throughout our planet to never give up.
No,
and can
absolutely
we play
not.
Dell's song?
You were so inspiring with your pizza parties with your husband, mate. You're so inspiring. How was the island? How was the island, mate? How was the island?
Epstein?
So much respect is given. No, I'm watching you. American politics on one particular side. I'm watching you.
Hilarious.
I'm just saying. I've seen the emails. Mate. I've seen the email. You and Hillary, buddies.
That's right. Oh, let me pull up some of the email. And I have a
no. Holly, thank you so much. She said she would love to hear Dell's song.
I would like to hear the song now. If that's okay.
Let's hear the song. Let's hear the song. Because y'all, first of all, your comments, some of y'all are just as racist. And God bless y'all, okay? Because everybody got their right to be whatever they want to be. Okay,
get the racists out of here.
Trump is out here raping people, grabbing people by the poo. Now you don't think nothing about that, okay? Because that's because you worship your skin.
No. I'll be honest with you. For me, American politics is like if you're handed two disgusting sandwiches and one of them's more disgusting than the other, you're probably going to eat the lesser of the two disgusting sandwiches.
No, that's what we have to do here. That's what people don't understand.
Oh, I
that's
understand.
What we have to do. We have to choose the lesser of the two evils because everyone is evil. But again,
we have to choose the sandwich that doesn't do the Nazi salute.
That's right.
Man.
God said it in the Bible. He planted us among the wicked. So
all I'm going to say.
So I just want to say this, Ron.
These are people with different
who.
Go.
All of us have difference of opinions, but I think what all connects us is this song that Del wrote. Because at some point in your life, no matter where you are, no matter where you've been, a lot of us feel this right now. Never give up. So it's never give up on what your passion might be. Never give up on advocating for people if you feel they need that. But this is an expression for everybody to roll to in your car.
I just want to add to that.
You're feeling down.
This is for everybody who's too scared to tell their friends on podcasts that their political views are crazy and the people that they're talking about facilitate situations. Also, yes, and I can't wait to hear this. Let's go. Look at the hair.
You might have to fast forward into it a little bit.
Go to 40 seconds. Mm-hmm. Go to 40 seconds.
The hair game is on point, Del. The hair game is fire. I got enough one bullshit internet.
And you know the funny thing is, can't see your eyelashes.
That's the funny thing too. I can't see my eyelash either. That.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. All right.
Time will surely be tough out here. You will suffer through much rejection, causing you to have fear. You might have heartbreak and struggle, and you might shed some tears. But that's how you know that your blessing is near. So don't you never give up. No, never give up. Oh, I never give up.
It's got soul, baby.
Never give up.
Come on, Del.
Alone, I had so many lessons. I questioned myself about the promise you made to me. Wanting to heaven, had me making decisions that just don't reflect the person you call me to be. So I did some soul searching and looked in the mirror. I got myself together and turned my life back on. Oh yeah, never give up. No, never give up. Oh no, oh I never give up. No, never give up.
Here we go.
Oh, this is made on sassy date night mix. I'm telling you. One, baby.
It's gonna put out the fires.
Sometimes you gotta cry. Sometimes you gotta testify. And even when you don't hear back, you know it's gonna be alright. Sometimes you gotta wonder why. Professing on me on mine. The Holy Spirit heard you. You know it's gonna be alright. I hear from you and see the way so much clearer. With faith enough to tell it in a minute just go. And now I never give up. No, never give up. I said I will go right. Never give up. No, never give up. Sometimes you gotta cry. Sometimes you gotta testify. Light up the night. Say I was wondering where tears in my eyes.
I don't think it's that difficult to understand. It's almost like the guest who's on, they've never given up. It's what you got the planetary mean.
With James Golden, you're confused. It's inspirational.
Never give up.
Yeah, that is sick. Like, do you know, it's like when your friends turn up with their new baby and you hope to God it's not an ugly baby so that you don't have to lie to your friends about what their baby looks like, right?
Right.
And anytime anyone's like, oh, play the video, I'm like, you better be good, right? Because the internet is savage, right? That was, do you know, it was annoyingly effortless looking, right? You know what I'm saying? It was one of those like, oh, let's start. I'm so good at this. Oh, that's the wrong screen. I'm so good at this. I can just do this sitting down, mate. Do you know what I mean? I can do this sitting down, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Freaking awesome. This lady's hair, amazing. I just want to point that out.
John Cena. That's John Cena.
I don't know who that is. Legendary hairdo. I'm just saying.
He's a comedian. Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
Oh
what?
my gosh. Yeah, Del, that song is wonderful. Somebody I just saw in the comments, what is the purpose of playing that song? and it's to motivate you guys, okay? Because we're talking about some, little heavy topics, little things, and I think it's great that we disagree, because to be in an echo chamber in
Yes.
a place where everybody has the same opinion, that's what
Yeah.
is so valuable about free speech. Is
Right.
like, if I can't say something and maybe be right, maybe be wrong, and learn from what you're saying, or it's about saying, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong,
Yeah.
or actually,
Yeah.
you know
Or
what,
having
I
your
was
co-host,
right.
tell you that you're totally wrong. Other way, just flip it. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? But
Exactly.
here's the thing, right?
Or to have your co-host
This is
faking a Scottish accent when he's really in Brooklyn and he's lying to the whole world.
listen, no, I would love to have some
Let's
big
hear your best Brooklyn accent. Forget about it.
no, listen. But I just
Thank
want
you guys. Thank you so much. I
to,
see y'all in the comments. Thank you
yeah,
so much for
that was
your love
incredible.
and support.
That was incredible,
Mhm.
right? It was. I mean, let's cut the shit here. That was major talent.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And like I say, that is one that, I can't wait till my wonderful daughter and my fiance come home, and I'll be excited to be like, look, this is one of Samson's friends that were on the show. They're like, listen to this, because I don't know if I'm missing a genre of music, right? And I'm sure I am, but I don't feel like you were trying to be anything but yourself in that song. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yes.
Also sounded, and I also feel like have you got like a loud voice as well, where you can kind of just open up and hit with some mad notes and things that you were kind of holding back in that song?
You know
On
what?
was
I mean,
demonstrated.
I was trying to get the right, like I was mastering, because when I went into with an award-winning producer, Antoine Dunn, shout out to him, who saw me sing the song live, and he was like, I want the job to produce it. And um when we went into the booth, he kept saying he wanted to evoke the feeling, the vibe, more than having
Mm.
you be like, okay, I want to stretch out. But people come
No,
to me all the time and they're like, I want to hear you blow.
no,
Like they can hear it
no.
in
I
my
wasn't.
voice.
No. I respect it in this,
Yeah.
right? Because when people say you don't need to shout to be listened to, that was the vibe I got.
Mhm.
I will
Yes.
say this.
Yes, I did write it, Little Miss.
Who was responsible for the? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm autistic and have ADHD, so I have no filter. So I apologize, right?
Yeah.
Whoever made that video, they need to not be allowed to do any of your videos ever again, right? Because
Why?
it was too distracting. It's too distracting from the song. There's too much going on.
Really?
Yeah, I would have much rather like some B-roll with the words on the screen and just your vocals. I'll be honest, it would have been
Wow.
because it distracted
Interesting.
too much from the song. There's too much going on. But that's just me being an idiot who has no relevance in the music industry, giving you my take on media production. Other than that,
I think what you're talking about, like a lyric video or something, which I think
no.
could go. And,
You've got one of
you
those
know.
voices where you just stood doing the song in an empty room that's just been stripped of wallpaper with like high contrast, and the camera revolving around you is all it needs.
Mm.
All it needs. All it needs. A bit
I
high
understand what you're saying. I,
Yeah.
I think though too,
No,
Del.
no, wait,
just
no,
to
wait,
add
no. I've got
to-
a better idea. So as the
Go
camera's
ahead.
rotating, you're cutting to people never giving up, right? Maybe you're cutting to
I
people in
like
different
that. Okay.
situations, also in black and white, high contrast, to express it doesn't matter, everything's the same, to get that message over. Bit of high contrast, mirrors, the camera's going around you, and then you're cutting to people who are never giving up. That's what I think the video should have been.
I
And that's
love
just my
that
10 minute.
idea.
That's my 10
Yeah,
minute.
And also,
I love the lyric
wanted to.
idea with the people never giving up,
Yeah.
lyrics, and
Mhm.
you can show it. I mean,
Mm.
I love the
Yeah.
video how it is. I love doing the idea of doing another one. Thank you so much, Lauren, for just downloading it. She says she just downloaded the
Oh,
song.
great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I
It's
want to
awesome.
also
It's
add
awesome.
to it,
It's really good.
and at the very end when you're going, so do we, like you're hitting that high note.
Yes.
I think you are. I get it. Feel like they want to hear, but I feel like you do hit that crescendo really beautifully, and the feeling you capture, because I've heard you do that song live, and I fell in love with that song, and the producer, really, you get the hair on the back of your neck standing up, which I think for
Oh, it's
any
awesome.
great art makes you get that tingly feeling if it's
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake song doesn't come through my computer and hit me with like, ooh,
Yeah.
I just
Well, that's the
got
thing.
tingles like
Harry,
that song does.
I think Harry sums it up. It's proper music. I don't know what genre
Yeah,
of music that
thank you,
is.
Harry.
But I'm going to play that song again. I will. I can already tell you there's occasions and things that I know where I'm going to play that song, and I have no idea what type of music it is, and I don't care. Right? It was just. It's a beautiful thing, is what it is.
Thank you so much.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you so much.
And when you talked earlier about your love of the arts, right? Like, what is it you do on YouTube? Let's just have a look here. What is it you do on YouTube?
Yeah, and can we show Dell's one of her stand-up clips too? Because I also,
hang on.
before
Your
the
boy's
show, no worries.
your boy's cooking right now. Give me a second.
No, let him cook.
Oh, you
Let
can
him
see
cook.
my stand up. Okay, so you see, yeah, you can see me doing like basically I'm literally living my entire life on YouTube.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what you need to do
sketches,
currently,
there's music,
Del has
there's
so much great
here's
content.
the thing. So right now I'm looking at your most popular videos, and imagine they're all different videos, right?
Yeah.
How would I know what I'm looking at? How would I know what's a music video, what's a skit, what's a vlog, anything? I can't because of the thumbnails. You need the sub-branding of visually categorizing your content like it's a brand, the vlogs, the music.
Wow. I'm writing
I need
that
this
down right
too,
now.
actually.
I mean,
Okay.
you're trying a bit more now, but it's not. You need these thumbnails need to be the same as the music, mate. Like everything needs to match that level because that's your standard.
Okay.
That's
you know
good
what?
advice.
Thank you so much for saying that. I'm writing that down because I just was like, I
Well,
want to get somebody.
Samson can make a group on WhatsApp if you want. I'm a nerd. So this is just 10 minutes of us on the internet and me spitballing with you. I'll happily help you, tweak some stuff and all that stuff. No problem.
Yes, Lord.
That's great
Because
advice.
I just said I want to hire somebody to like make it like uniformity.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do it because it's hard to like be perfect and everything.
There's no such thing as
it's
perfection,
hard, Ron. What's
use
hard
the science.
is like as a comedian, like content creator. I mean, obviously you're a content creator, but it gets so overwhelming between creating your content and then uploading it to 3 different websites, and then
Oh
like the
my
point you
God,
just made.
Samson.
Mine is not.
No.
Mine's not like this either. But it's hard sometimes for a lot of us to organize this in the best way. So, like you said, that we're showcasing.
So let me tell you this right now. In 2025, if you are making shorts and then uploading them to separate platforms, you're living in 2020. You upload an hour and a half new podcast to an AI software that turns it into 61-minute long videos.
I just did that last night.
It uploads your videos to the platform that it gives it the best algorithmic rating to, that it predicts those videos will do the best performance on, and it handles everything. Nerds.
Right.
Wait.
Right.
Now,
that's
hold
what
on,
we need,
guys. I'm to the people in the comments. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Class just began.
Yeah, right.
You, Ron. Look, because I just found Opus last night.
Right. I was just bringing it up.
Yeah, Opus AI.
Okay, and now the thing is, I'm like, I literally just subscribed because I was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I just subscribed because I'm like, I need to just get something to like automatically do it for me. But now I need to like open it on my laptop so I can, because I'm like, I don't want.
Well, listen, I got you.
Me 100 videos.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I don't want 100. I just want to get those 7. That's like.
No. Listen, you want those 100. No, you want those 100. So, for example, when people talk about other platforms that you might not use, why aren't those other 97 videos going on a platform you don't use and passive farming? Right? If you don't care about them anyway, then make a channel called like, I don't know. It doesn't even have to be on brand. If it pops, you can rebrand it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's easy.
So
put them I have OpenAI, and it's hard because it creates so many, like 50 different videos. But then what I found is the quality of the clips were not great. It's like at the end of the day, because on a podcast, I would throw it in. You're like, oh, cool. I have 40 clips, and it tells me how viral they're each going to go. But at the end of the day, you have to have some customized.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. So we've all met people that have different tastes in pizza than us, right? And there's things that you put on a pizza that other people want. So when it comes to basically taking what you consider the dregs of your AI harvesting. There's people out
Sure.
there that might be a viral clip to a certain
Mhm.
niche of people. Don't get me wrong, if it's one of these mad ones where it just makes no context, then I agree with you. But I just
Right.
want to say,
But you
every-
are saying quantity over quality a
no, no,
little
no, no, no,
bit
no,
in
no, no,
that
no, no,
sense.
no, 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 no. What I said was you'd put your best work in your best places, and if you're looking to how to test a market on a new platform you're not on, you
Mhm.
can do that by blanketing with the rest of the content. So that's why creators tend
I
to have their main
understand.
channel and second channel, if you know what I'm saying. Now, listen,
I understand.
I found something interesting this week, and I'm going to
Mhm.
call it stuff I found on the internet this week. And
Ooh.
Dan and I found this YouTube account, right? That I'm just gonna show you a clip from it just now, and it'll kind of sum up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to see this you were talking about, and I also too. I will have to wrap in a little bit, Ron. Just
Yeah,
letting you
don't worry,
know. But
don't worry.
that's.
Yeah.
But this has
So
been a great show. This has been excellent, you guys.
if you,
This has been a blessing and a half for me, Ron, because I have needed this advice.
oh yeah. Listen, Ron's awesome. I hear you. Ron's
Yeah,
amazing,
Ron
right?
is Lil. That's why they call him Lil Yum Yum.
No, it's like, for example, I see it like this, right? If I was a mechanic and there was something wrong with your car that I could fix in 20 minutes and we were friends, I would just fix it in 20 minutes, right? So that's how I look at the digital world. So I found this account. We're going to play through this video. Now, this guy is a heterosexual male who's seen a niche in the market for people liking hot looking gamer girls, and he is making bank from this reaction content. Look at this.
You fine.
Okay.
I am, bro.
What the?
Oh, sorry.
That's a man.
No, it's not. It's not, I promise.
Damn, put your. Yeah, well, did you call me? Yo, so
The thing is,
he's a 10.
Here he is here, right? So this is him here, out of makeup. He's got a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. So he
It's not
is
a
a man.
trans
Okay,
guy.
that's great.
It's not a gay dude. It's a heterosexual dude who has learned to, and he does a tutorial where he shows you how he makes his jaw look smaller and all this, right? And I'm sorry, I cannot stop watching.
He's a 10, but he doesn't drink. What's the
Hang on, his Omegle content.
That's funny. So for
can't
people
stop
who
watching
can't
it,
see,
man.
it's a guy who is in drag who looks like a very attractive woman, and then he has some guys come on the feed, and then he just drops his voice, and they're like, "Whoa!"
1.67 million. That's crazy.
So it all gets funny when it's people reacting. But then he starts going out into the streets and pretending like a drunk woman alone. And things start going from comedy to, I have daughters, right? I have actual females that I have created and that I love on this planet.
Yeah.
And I am absolutely disgusted, right, at what women have to go through after seeing the realities of it. Now, obviously, he's a very, very convincing body double when it comes to going out and.
This is me dressed as a girl in the beautiful city of Los
and this
Angeles.
is in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So this is him. This is him doing his thing. And you've got to remember, this guy is totally jacked, right? His boobs look so convincing because he's got massive pecs, right?
Right. That's funny.
Obviously, it's fun and games when it's people getting pranked on the internet. But honest to God, if you are a man, right? If you're a man, and you've listened to the women around you your whole life saying, oh, I think I got followed, or there was something going on in that club. And it's got to the point maybe where you're passive to it, right? You're passive to it. You don't really know if you can take it seriously. Oh, it's a hysterical woman, right, guys? This is absolutely eye-opening beyond belief. And I'm not saying anything about demographics or certain cultures or certain types of people that look a certain way, but you will notice a trend in the people who are in Cyprus or in Spain or in one of these European destinations where most of the holiday makers from that I know, Del, the girls, they go for holidays there, all the rest of it. And they're down on the beach. Now imagine you're 20 years old, Del, you're on your first girls' holiday, you've lost the girls, you're by yourself, you're now sitting on a sun lounger at 2 a.m. on the beach. And you're having to endure wave after wave after wave of man trying to, hey, you like me? You want the sex? You want the sex with me?
Right.
What, mate? It is embarrassing, right? And we as men, right, actual men, need to educate themselves on spotting the signs of this crap. And I mean, you need America and the UK and the whole world to approach the wholehearted hunting of predator activity like you would any other of your hobbies. Because if there is women, right, when we talk about the R word, right, and we talk about how little of it is actually reported to the police by victims,
right,
and how few of those cases are taken on, we need to be, as men, vigilant for scenarios. Now, I'm not talking about the badass chicks that you know from the local bar in your hometown. I'm sure they can handle themselves in their hometown. This is very much in a place where if you get essayed on the beach at 2 a.m. in a foreign country and you're 20, so much of this happens and nothing is done about it.
right.
I'm telling you now, right? It infuriates me to think this is where my daughter's, girls' holidays will be and all this kind of stuff. I've got a 23-year-old.
Right.
I'm not going to lie, she's badass. Like, she is badass.
Yeah,
She's
yeah. That's why I just
very
educate
much,
my daughter as much as possible.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
teach her how to kick a guy right in the balls, go right
Nah,
for
it's
the
not
groin
even
right
like that.
away.
It's not even like that. Just she's very aware of how situations can manifest, shall we say. So it's very much prevention before it happens. Very proud of her. But I'm telling you now,
don't get in
I
the
want to see the
situation.
video.
oh yeah, we can play a little bit of this.
Because I'm like, these are real boobs.
From where?
Nope. That is, do you know what it is? Right, I'm going to explain the boobs to you. It's a big set of men's pecs, and it's a gel bra that you would wear with a backless, strapless dress.
Oh.
With a Wonder bra from Victoria's Secret that does the 3 extra cup sizes on top of that. And now you know how much padding's there. It all makes sense because you just need a little half-inch of pec to make that boob look like boob. And
like this, Del. You see this?
When he goes through the tutorial, Del, of how he gets ready, and he's talking about when you see him on the stream, he sits to the side with his hair here, and his hair's over his muscles, and it's genius. It's genius.
Wow.
So we'll play a little bit of this.
I get it.
Not just the face, everything.
Oh, really? Is that so?
I guess I'm smart.
Okay, maybe.
All right, yeah, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, same.
You get a kiss on the lips.
All right.
Have me.
All right.
Kiss 2 on the lips, please.
No, I'm a normal man, no trans.
Fuck it.
So obviously you've got the reactory content, right? Now, when it's in America, it's one thing.
I love when he drops his voice.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a real man.
No, but you know what? I have had that happen to me. I'm talking about each week. Somebody's being like, "Can I get a hug though? Can I get a hug though?"
Oh yeah.
No, you can't get a hug.
Right. I'll be honest with you. Any stranger that comes up to you in a nightclub and says, "Can I get a photograph with you?" Anyone that has a good, clear image of your face in HD, the madness that can occur in AI could destroy your entire life.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, do you know how difficult it would be?
That's crazy.
You're talking 12 minutes it would take to create a piece of footage that could ruin someone's life off of one still image.
But couldn't they just grab that anyway, run off the internet, or is there something to that?
Of course they could. Yeah, of course they could. Of course they could. But when we're talking about long play blackmail cons, you take every single opportunity that you can get to have leverage. Okay, here's a cracker. Here's what women have to endure. This looks super good for all the men out there right now. Let's pull it back.
Yes. All right. No, thank you. I'm really tired. I'm going home.
Okay, so no thank you. I'm really tired. I'm going home. Right? That's a clear statement there. Okay?
Yes.
Adele made a statement, right?
Where do you live?
Not very far away from here. Not very far. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Listen, contact out now.
I really like you. I just want to walk and talk.
Yeah, but I want to go to my hotel.
Okay, so
look how he's grabbing her hand.
Yeah, so
that's disgusting.
Oh well, listen. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he thought she was ill. He's checking her pulse. Maybe it was the goodness of his heart, Del. Right? I don't think this is going to get any worse.
True. He might be. He might be warming up her hand or checking for arthritis.
Yeah, you could have thought there was emergency. So at this point, we can noticeably see that this man is now not in the same angle. This is where those triangle maths come into play. So he's edged forward, she's leaning away. So we've had a physical recoil, and we've had two clear indications that she wants nothing to do with this guy and that she doesn't want to continue, right? Just to be clear, that's where we're at.
Can you go?
Can I go?
Yeah. Thank you.
Sounds like an American dude.
Sorry?
This is in New York.
Always an American dude.
It is. Okay. I kind of have to go now.
Kind of have to go now again. Whoa! I mean, I'm sorry, right? My fever dream demon doesn't look.
Okay, now there's now as a woman, I do want to break something, call something to attention, because like American women, you know, those of us, you know, who are out dressed like this.
Yeah.
The sign that she's giving him is, you know, it's clear coming out of your mouth, but us in America, we've been taught to slap a dude or to knee you in the balls. So if you're just letting
she's
him
not pushing him
come
away.
on you, yes. So that's where he's feeling like, oh, maybe she's the kind that likes to know. Now, of course, brother, still move on your way. But you know, because she's saying no, and she's looking afraid. But you know, the rest of us will push you and be like, no, and would have kept and would have walked even faster. Like so, but you know, you do have this kind of young, vulnerable woman that would be afraid and would be like a deer in headlights. So he's still at fault.
Ladies,
but
ladies,
you know,
ladies, I've got two words for you: conceal carry. That's all I'm saying. Right, let's continue.
But that's an interesting point.
Oh, Sam, how are you doing for time? How are you doing for time, Sam?
I probably, if I could wrap in like 5, that would be great.
I'm probably still going to be ranting at Dell for the next 10 minutes.
That's great. No, Dell, you bring up a great point about this, Dell, is that this is a man acting like a woman, so he might not actually be in the real mindset of a real woman. Be like, get the hell off of me.
Okay,
but
no, I'm pushing back. I'm pushing back.
Hold on.
Okay,
but on the flip side, there is, like you said, Dell, that there are women who have that personality like this man, so it is still accurate, is what I was going to say. So, you know, this does represent some type of women that will
be afraid.
So timid. She's so timid and afraid that you're like, come here with me, and she's too scared to speak up. And that is how women get, you know, this happens to them.
I know. And then people passing by.
No. Sorry.
Passing by would look at them and assume that they're a couple. Because
exactly.
No. This doesn't happen to women because they don't need people in the balls or they don't speak out. This happens to women because there's a problem in society with men, right? There's a problem because I'm not being funny. I'm yet to see the wave of lesbians acting like this to other lesbians. I'm sure there is, right? But I'm just saying, and I'm sure there is
0% lesbian activity too, like this.
But if it was
this is a male problem,
dude. Do you know? I've become a little bit obsessed with male-only traits in the human condition that are traits that appear in people when no one's around. So it's interesting because this whole thought process came from a friend of mine who's an adult entertainer, right? And he's a straight guy who does stuff on certain websites, and most of his clientele are not straight men; they're gay men, right? And then I also have friends who are female who work on the same website, who also have clients who are basically all male. And it's interesting across the demographic of preference orientation, it's still men. It's basically men. We are 98% of the consumerism on certain websites.
Right.
That fascinates me, man. That fascinates me.
Well, did you see on Telegraph there was 70,000 men who had that chat about how to R a woman?
Yeah, listen, I did a whole live
70,000. It's insane.
It was an interim. So let's we've committed to this now. I want to see how this turns out. I'm sure everything works out okay. Let's see.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's not, all right.
It looks like he's about to go skiing in the mountains.
No, I'll go alone.
Why?
Because I want to go alone.
All right, now we're getting into like full on creep realm.
Yeah, he's
Can I
interjacking.
Can I get your Instagram page whilst I'm having
And he
a
has his
feeling?
hand on her ass. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so listen, guys, right? This is not okay. All right.
Yes. No.
This is not okay.
Agreed.
All right. What
Agreed.
we should all, if you are in doubt, pretend it's COVID again and put your hand out. And if you can do a full rotation and not touch anyone, that's close enough for a conversation. Would you agree, Del?
Yeah.
Right?
It's like
Okay.
slow dancing in the 50s, you know?
Yeah.
And also too, when she said no, you brother, you move on. But I'm telling you, I've had this same thing happen. Where I've had to be like, no, and like take off running because people, especially if it's like, you know, I remember I was walking the dogs at like 5 something in the morning, and this guy came up behind me and I didn't see him. So when I turned around, he was like right up on my shoulder, and I was I screamed. I was like, what? And he just lifted up his shirt and was like, what? You don't want this? You don't want this? And I was like, no, get away. And everywhere I ran, he ran, and everywhere I like tried to turn, he tried to turn, and he was lifting up his shirt and he was pulling down his pants. And this is like broad daylight. I'm in a robe. I'm literally walking 3 dogs in a robe and rollers. And like, it wasn't until this other lady came across the street that I was able to like run over there. And then he like ran off. But this is like right outside my neighborhood. Okay. This ain't no club. I ain't got no heels on. This brother, you know, and this obviously looked like he was on some drugs. This guy don't look like he's on drugs, but this guy still should have, you know, once this girl said, no, I'm gonna go alone.
Here's the thing.
You get out of here. Get out of here, brother.
Here's the thing, right? I feel like I'm often brought to the table to defend drugs, right? Because I'll be honest with you, right? In my lifetime, I have done some pretty excessive party situations, okay?
Yeah.
And never once have I got into that level where I'm like, I'm going to go outside and go up behind a stranger and get my bits out and be like, why don't you want this? Samson, can you agree, as somebody who's probably got a similar background to me, that what level of off your nut, okay? I mean, off your nut would you need to be in to walk up behind a stranger and use DRUG as any form of excuse for the
excuse, right? I mean, I find like there's so many men who just have no clue how to talk to women, how to relate to women. You have men all the time saying, oh yeah, my perfect wife would be somebody who loves to watch Sunday football, drink beer, and talk about sports and mechanics. And you're like, that's a dude. You're probably better off in a gay relationship.
There's loads of women that love that.
But we have this, you know, there is an entire lack of respect, lack of just men finding women on our equal playing field. I think most men, not most, but there's a lot of traditional men out there who just don't even think women are on our same playing field. And the irony of this is women made all of us. You know what I mean? Like you know, women are the creators on earth. We worship God, but we don't worship our women, which is a proven, it's proven visibly God that we come out of a woman. That is God. You're able to see the proof of life, but then this God, you know, Jesus, Allah, whatever your God is, that you can't ever see until maybe you pass and go away and meet your maker.
I seen him a few years ago.
You really respect that. Do you see what I'm trying to do there?
Yeah.
Right, listen, right? I'm sorry, right? We need to start taking accountability for this nonsense, because I've got a theory about America, okay? Because there's certain parts in America where there is this new perception from a lot of the women who choose to use certain online websites as ways to make their money. There seems to be a wave of inspiring other women to adopt an attitude that almost rejects 99% of men and focus on wealth and what you can get for how you look. Now, when you have high population areas where something like this could occur, you're going to have a demographic of men who are feeling completely shut out. I'm just saying this to you now. See if you and me, Adele, I'd met you in a bar 4 hours ago. We're drinking all night and we're walking home. This is and I don't mean all of the weird touchy stuff, but the scenario where you and I are in a street and I'm saying, hey, want to come back to mine? The only scenario in my head where that occurs is if we've met hours before, not if you're just.
Yeah.
So does this occur when you're just walking home and these guys just vulture onto people like it's like Last Chance Saloon? Because that's what it feels.
It is. It's prey. You know what I mean?
No,
You're seeing a drunk woman
because
walking home from a bar. It's
I've
like an eagle
definitely
swooping down.
I've definitely had it happen often because they look like they're on Hollywood Boulevard, like one of those kind of areas.
Okay.
And
It
I
is,
definitely had
yeah.
it happen all the time. Like keep in mind, like this area right here, honey, people already been talking to themselves for 4 hours on whatever drug that they done chose for the night. So when you come along at the end of the conversation and they like, why you don't want to come home with me? And you're having to ward them off. But the average person is going to, the average person is going to scream and be like, you know, I got to get out of here. But if you are on holiday and you're scared, this is how you're going to be. And that's the danger, you know?
Here's the thing.
Well,
right?
and Ron,
let's be real.
That men.
Let's be real. In a situation like this, where a woman is alone, right? And just going by what you're saying there, what a woman would do in this situation. She's alone. She has no idea if this guy is a weapon because it's America. So in New York, you would be concerned about knives because they're concealable carry. Then you've heard everything about getting out of a situation. You need to sort of go along with a situation to get out of it if you feel like you can't fight your way out. There's so many thought processes that would go through a woman who wouldn't just knee him in the balls. Like take away all the women that have kneed him in the balls, and we're just left with that slight demographic. That demographic we have to still focus on and worry about, educate, because it's not the badass. It's not, and listen, you can be badass.
Absolutely.
You Dale, this could be you, and he may close the gap on you once his pelvis is close to yours. There's no ball kneeing if he's got control of where your knees are. If he puts one leg between your knees, you're done, right?
Yeah.
So in this situation, it's now okay. Is he armed? Do
Yeah.
you see what I mean? So I completely get your analogy of badassery, and I commend it. But there's situations, even someone like yourself, even somebody who's completely
I'm talking about he has full control over her right now.
Yeah.
Because if you do kick your leg up, boom, his hand could go right up there. If you don't kick your leg up, men have the chest power over us. So, he, just being this close up on her, he can intimidate her and now drag her to the location he wants to go. And God forbid he has a car parked right nearby. You know what I mean? Like she can go right in there.
And not to mention, most women, like you're saying, might not just knee somebody. They might not, a lot of people don't just have that instinct. And then further, if they do knee him, then they have to worry, what if this guy punches them in the face, because hitting him first, he could say, oh, well, now I'm defending myself. And all of a sudden, you get yourself, in a really bad situation.
How effective is a knee to the groin in a mini skirt with 6-inch heels on?
Exactly.
As a man,
you're better off not doing it. Right.
Because here's what it takes for me to stop your attack. I step forward and I put one of my feet on one of your feet. And now if you kneel me and try and knee me in the balls, I've got control over one of your legs, and all I've really got to do is just push back, and now you've no legs on the ground. You see what I mean? So in this situation, this is what we need to be aware of, guys. So if there's 5 or 6 of you drinking tomorrow night, and you're walking home, and it's 3 or 4 in the morning, and you see one dude, right, standing across the road, don't racially profile or use this as a way to make hate. But why don't you all stop, have a vape, have a cigarette, look at your phones, wait there for 10 minutes. And if women keep going by and this individual looks like he's interacting or saying things, maybe take note of it. Maybe have another cigarette, maybe have another vape, maybe see what else happens. And maybe then report it to the police. Don't ever interact, but maybe report it to the police and say, hey, there's a guy on the street who is waiting around, who I feel is displaying predatory signs. And the worst that happens is the police turn up and say, get out of here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in that
Right.
scenario,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And it's the
Absolutely.
same. I always say this. If someone came up to me because I was in the park with my kids and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to do this to you, but do you mind if, you know, I ask you and your kids if you're actually their parent so that I know you're not a horrible human trafficker?" If someone came up and said that to me, I would be like, "Oh my God, of course, yeah. Hey, come over here." You know, anyone with nothing to hide. And I'm really using that reference on holiday. If you see a weird scenario on holiday where a kid looks out of place with someone and you calls that person out, a real parent's going to laugh along, probably buy you a coffee for being like, "Listen, man, correct. You should be questioning all this kind of stuff."
Stranger danger.
You know, we need to be vigilant, guys.
Yeah.
No longer can we expect, sadly, parents to give a rat's ass, or women to be able to live in a society where they, I mean, walking home, going on a bus, going into like a kebab or pizza place or KFC,
Yeah,
dangerous.
2 in the morning. Like, I've got kids, and I feel the same way about what I've seen in Vlad NCL's content as I did when I first went on the dark web investigating the blackmail sites and the hacking sites. This to me is an avoidable scenario. And I'm not talking about vigilantism. I'm not talking about putting yourself in danger. I'm talking about learning how to be the ultimate spy satellite, learning how to walk along, spot something suspicious, and blend into the background in a way that doesn't make you stand out, so that if something was to happen or you see signs of something happening, you can document and report it. And I don't think that is, sadly, something that any of us can shy away from in 2025. For women, for children, for men, for the mentally infirm, for the mentally disabled, the physically disabled, all people who fall subject to prey. Also, heterosexual white dudes. I'm just throwing them in too because no one really cares about them.
Happens.
Throwing them in too. We all need to unite. We all need to unite. And I don't care. And I'm going to be clear. When it comes to Ron's opinion on people in 2025, if you're a fully grown adult with a fully developed brain, I do not give a rat's ass how you live your life. You can represent yourself on the outside, how you feel on the inside. If you want to live your life and you are a functioning, properly non-insane human being who's an adult, I support everyone should have the same rights as an adult, right? As long as you're doing stuff consensually with other adults. All right. And I'll be honest, it sounds like I'm being really caring and like making a speech here. I don't care. Okay, why is this still a thing? Why is this still a thing? Why are we still talking about racism, homophobia, all that stuff? I get that some people like yourself, Del, respectfully, understand the sanctity of marriage. I get that, right? So I'm just saying, like, when we come across, when I talk to people like Del, who is, I mean, you said earlier you're religious, and you know you have a problem with maybe the sanctity of marriage not being upholded because it's a man and a woman, right? And I get that, right? So fucking make up a new thing like super marriages or something, right? There's ways of taking hold of the situation. Everyone should have the same right.
Focus on the little
Everyone should have the same right. I don't care.
Ron,
I'm past this now. You need to go. I'm going to rant more.
I do have to buzz out, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine. Ron's going to rant more. I'm sorry. I'm triggered.
No, good. And I just want to wish everybody a happy, amazing Friday. In the words of Del Harrison, never, never give up, you know, at the end of the day. And I can't wait to see you guys again next Friday. I love this show, Friendly Fire. Ron and I, you know, Lil Yum Yum.
Yeah.
It's just been amazing building this audience with you guys. And I thank everybody in the live chats for your, your
Samson,
comments.
I feel like in 2025, I want to connect you with people that's going to unlock your true badass, right? And I want to make you blood hungry, right? For certain things this year. I feel like you would very much benefit from adding a bit of shark to your DNA. If you know,
I love it. No,
because you're a very, very nice man. You're a very, 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 very nice human being, and it's very rare.
Thank you. Well, I'm a whale shark. I need to be more of a great white at times, you know.
How cool are whale sharks, though?
I love whale sharks. I swim with them.
No, you would come back as a sperm whale just for comedic value.
I'd be a sperm whale. That's a good one to go out on.
Right, get the hell out of here.
All right, love you guys.
I've got
okay, love you, Sam. See you.
Okay, so Del, now we're in uncharted territory here. Okay, I think you and I have got, because here's the thing. I think it's very interesting when people have very polar views in the world. Because listen, I'll be honest with you. You're a Christian. Are you a Christian? She's a good
Yeah.
Christian.
Yes.
Full on practicing pagan witch. No, no jokes. No, all jokes aside, I'm a fully fledged practicing pagan witch. So
Really?
yeah, 100%. A couple of 100 years ago, you're burning me at the stake. 100%. 100%.
Wow.
100%. So you and I couldn't be from further walks of life. American, Scottish. I'm a white dude. You're a black lady. You're a Christian. I'm a pagan witch. Right? We've got a pretty. It's up. Society's up against us for us learning from each other. Is what I'm saying. Because from society's eyes, we're oil and water, metaphorically speaking. Right? We don't. Let's try and learn some stuff from each other, because I think it's the people that are from different walks of life and different beliefs that we can learn the most from, because echo chambers are crazy. Also, Twitter, I just want to demonstrate how two adults can actually have totally different views and just have a discussion. And no one's career.
I completely,
no one's
because you know what? No, seriously, I'm one in total agreement, because as a Christian, of course I gotta keep it with God. He did not put us here to be all alike. That's how we develop tolerance. That's how we learn not to judge. That's how we love everyone. Because that's our whole job as Christians, is we are here to love everyone. I am not here to be like, okay, you do this thing I don't like, I'ma just have to take your, that's not what it's about. It's about showing whomever the love.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I think followers of the Christian faith, like yourself, are very much like you depict. But Christianity's management system is what I have a problem with. Now, before I don't want to get into that. So, as a Christian, what led you to your faith? Do you mind me asking you this?
No, I don't mind at all. I'm so happy you asked.
Yeah, I'm not setting you up. This isn't like I'm not asking you a series of loaded questions.
I'm so happy you asked, because I just want you to know this. I grew up in the church, okay? Because I'm about to give y'all my full-fledged honesty. I grew up in the church. I went away from the church. I went to Atlanta, and I was curious about this other religion. I then accepted Islam, so I was Muslim for a second. Wow. Then I got back in the church, but then I still would not pray to, I would not acknowledge Jesus, because I had such training with the Muslim. Then I went from being a Muslim to the strip club to being a lesbian, to being back to Christ.
Slow it down. First of all, I need to dial it back to stage one. So let me ask you this. Was your transition from Christianity to the Muslim or Islam for the first time, was that because of a man?
Yes.
Okay, now let me continue.
Yes. No, I'm telling you, that's how you get.
Let me try and textbook this. All right. So you went from the man and being Muslim to back to Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Then I imagine you had some pushback from society or the church, and you've rebelled and went to the pole. Is that where we're at?
No, no pushback from the church.
Okay. You're happy to have you back.
Just youth. Youth, and that's what people have to understand about youth. That like every time I think about like rap music and how demonic some of the lyrics are, the bud hole and the cakes and the this and the shooting and the murder.
Wild.
I always have to think about the young mind, because that's what most rappers are. They're not 50 years old and raising, grandkids. They are 20 something years old and just now coming of age into the youth. They're practicing their testosterone. The women are feeling sexy. So when you interject youth in there, youth is curious about everything. So that's where I was curious about Islam. I got with this dude. He hit me this. So, and then you get curious about, so then I got to the strip club, because I've always loved attention,
If this was 2025, right, and you were doing the same life, right, but it's 2025, do you think are strip clubs even a thing now? Because I feel like in this story in 2025, people head to OF or websites instead of the clubs now, right?
No, there's still a thing out here in LA. I mean, I see them, there's still a thing, there's a thing in Miami. There's a huge thing in Atlanta. So there's still a thing out here,
Okay. So you did that, became a lesbian. Congratulations. big supporter of all the work that is done across the whole genre of being a lesbian. And I congratulate you on your journey, 100%, 100%, right?
Yeah.
And this is going to be a stupid question. Was that a realization of true self, or is that like, was it a real thing for you, or was it like experimenting in college?
Yeah, experimenting, because really I come through it through men again, you come through it through your experiences, because I'm doing drugs at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not like I'm fresh out here in the church. I'm over here popping mollies and taking Valium and smoking weed. And honey, when you're doing all those things, you get curious about everything because you've got all these substances.
Hell yeah, you do.
You
And
know
I'll
what
be
I'm
honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I have had multiple conversations, right, when I was in my early to mid 20s with people starting out the open inverted commas chemical journey, right, because of people that would prey on people at the start of chemical journeys. Do you see what I mean? It's the same in any sort of, whether it's drug culture or kink culture or whatever. There is people that will prey on the excited people that are just here to learn and have enjoy themselves. So as a woman, right, we've looked at the alcohol scene and people walking home at the end of nights. Take us on what it's like and your experiences that were with the substance scene and being a woman. Only if you want to. I don't know if this is a trauma thing. I'm very, very much I talk too much. So if there's any issues with talking about some things, just tell me.
Well, I think the substance scene, luckily I have been in I come through the weed substance scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the weed substance scene is considered cooler than the other substance scene.
Of course, yeah.
So in my community,
Sure.
so then there's Molly that comes along, but at the time it's called ecstasy.
You said your community, right? So
yes,
do you
meaning the people I'm friends with, not the black community, but just
the black community.
The people I'm friends with.
So the chemical family, effectively, not
yes.
Okay. So did you find that in the black community there was different cultures than in the cultures that you were experiencing, if that makes sense? Because I think a lot of people, when they go on their first initial sort of chemical experience, if that makes sense, it is to sort of rebel from the norm, if that makes sense. It is to kind of step away from what their culture seems okay. So was there a difference in the two, or am I just waffling a lot of nonsense?
I don't think it was to rebel. I think that my same friend group introduced me to this other thing. And then through this other thing, you start meeting other people, and then you hear about mushrooms. Okay. Well, let me just try that. Okay, then my homegirl, she slipped some volume in my thing. Now, so you try now volume I did not stick with, but like ecstasy I stuck with a long time because it's one of those like sexual, pleasurable, community cool type of things.
Without trying to make it sound exciting, I will be honest, it is probably, as far as value per hit, if you will, it is one of the most mind expanding and enjoyable things out there, as opposed to, because for me, you hear about addiction and tragedy and people trying to mask things, but people don't often talk about the social positive outcomes that can come with responsible experiences with things. And I'm not being pro anybody breaking the law. I'm just saying, like, my upbringing and my experiences with things were never negative. That's not because everyone should mimic what I'm doing. It's just I'm just being real with you, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I didn't have a negative. I mean, I had generally it was negative what I was doing, when you look at society's things.
Naughty
but
thing.
I was not having a negative, I need to sedate something. Now I had problems just like everybody else has problems that you need to talk about with friends and get over and get vetted. but it wasn't like, like I'm basically about to be out here living on the streets because of these problems.
yeah.
It was literally a socially acceptable thing to do.
Yeah.
And so you start doing it more because your circle does it.
Yeah.
And then
how long did you know that circle of friends for?
I still know them, and
So
now
that's
we
the
don't
beauty,
do.
right? That's the beauty thing, right? So when we hear a story like yours of friends who grew up together, and
Yeah.
one of you has the balls to try something, whether it's with an older brother or
Yeah.
whatever, and he
Yeah.
comes back to the friends group and goes, "I didn't die," okay, and then you all kind of try it. That, I believe, is a very normal cultural experience with rite of passage. Now imagine we take away your entire friend group, okay, and you're a bit low, you're in a new place maybe, and all of a sudden your new friend group who you're new and just been into is pushing you to do the same substances, right, but for very different reasons, if you will. So our experience is exactly the same, Del. We are the happy experience rite of passage stories, but it's amazing if we just changed one or two elements of our experience, how dangerous and a different scenario it becomes.
And I think that I have had attempts on people trying to bring me into a negative circle, but
Of course.
I have always been able to, thank goodness, avoid that kind of circle, like, because I found new people to do
Do you
the
want to know
same
something
drugs
really
with,
messed up?
you know what I'm saying? But it still was the same kind of circle, but now
All
I
I'm
was
gonna
doing
say
less.
is 99% of every one of the friends of friends that were the weirdos that tried to pull you into a new group, 100% because you were a woman. 100%. 100% because you were a woman. 100%. We are talking about whether it was. So here's the thing. Let's talk about two things. Let's talk about consent and unconsent, but everything that happened before. So let's say I pull you from your friend group because I think you're a beautiful woman and I want to try and woo you. Let's use the word woo because that's very nice and very pleasant. We go on a chemical journey together and all of this. And my only intention was to lead up to the shenanigans that adults get up to consensually, right? Only thing different in an illegal and an illegal act is the consent in that, because both people had the same outcome. They both lured you away. Now, I'm not saying all men are predators, but there's different forms of predatory activity, right? I'm just saying, okay? And I'm fascinated with the male brain because even I, in my whole lifespan, have been like, oh, hey, there's a nice girl. Let's get chatting to her. Oh, what you into? Oh, you take this and that. You do all this. Okay, well, let's do some of this together and some of that together. And you know yourself, right? How literal talking crap can sound like Nobel Prize winning speeches on certain chemicals, right? And I think the MDMA and that whole chemical culture, we are very lucky as men that women who are partaking in that culture with us are savvy and wake up the next day and are like, oh yeah, this has probably happened because of that. Because I'm telling you, man, I have woken up after a party weekend when I've been single many years ago, and I've had to be filled in by people as to the chaos that's taken place. And
that's what happened with the volume. I had to be filled, and I was like, oh my word, Ron. I kept saying, I lived in this 3-story townhouse at the time, and they were telling me how I was going up and down the stairs, and I'm talking about these were very steep stairs, and I was just like, thank God I did not kill myself, because I do not remember. I still cannot remember not one stair climb, not one anything. So, and that
personally, when it comes to friends spiking friends, okay, in my 20s, I lived with a guy who remained nameless, and those little tablets that we were talking about, the ones that Sean is famous for and banned from America for, we used to think it was really funny to just put them in our cups of tea and attack each other with them. Like if I knew he was going to see his mum that day, fancy a coffee, mate? Rattle one in. He would do it to me. Now, we are pretty experienced individuals who had a laugh about that agreement. Personally, if anyone else that I knew put anything in my drink on a night out or anything like that, I would try and wipe out their bloodline. I'm not going to lie, right? People that put things in people's drinks, people that think anything to do with that is funny, they are, I don't know what the word is, but the concept of you as a human being having more things to worry about than me as a human being that I would never fathom of. I would never go into a club and worry about my drink.
Well, let me just say this. Hold on. Let me just say this. People who put things are into people's drink, okay, are probably, we're back to this word again, young, because I have definitely had a party and I remember buying, this guy gave me a deal on like 10 ecstasy pills. And I remember I had lost the pills and then I had, we had mistakenly threw them in the trash. And then we found them in the trash and then we put them in the punch.
Yeah,
so
I'll be
everybody
honest,
that was coming to that party.
I'll be honest. Because your story stems from a place where there's probably 10 friends who've grown up together, right? It's very different because I'll tell you this right now. Somebody's letting the party know at that party that punch has got things in it, right? And they'll maybe hint at it or whatever. And there's a big difference between knowing that everyone that's coming to a party has taken the thing that's in the punch and really all you're doing is facilitating a free little thing for everyone at the party is so different than so many other things. And you know what's so fascinating, right? Because how different are we as grown-ups? But I'm telling you now, we could probably overlay certain weekends of our 20s that would be so identical. And I'm telling you now, because of the safety of the friend group. That's the thing. And it's interesting because friend groups, it's almost like culture has shifted to such a point of isolating people that I feel like the 12
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Because within, let's say you've got 12, you're talking about that 12 person group of friends, and there's maybe 2 groups of 4 that are all best friends and they see each other more than everyone else. And there's the sort of outcasty hanger-on-y ones that everyone loves but doesn't really have a main tie. Do you know how the friend demographic works?
Yes.
I don't know how well that exists now. I think it exists in youth culture as long as you've got a FIFA season pass for playing football on the Xbox, because that is the boys in the UK. The boys,
they're fantasy friends.
They are going. No, these are school kids, man, and they are bonded for life. These boys. The boy culture in the UK is strong, but we're not talking about that. It's when it comes to these rite of passage scenarios, and I watched the club scene go from the pills and trance music to house music and handbags and lines in the toilet and all this culture shift with music and chemicals. And I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved house. I ran club nights in Edinburgh and Glasgow for years. My whole business was throwing parties. But trance was way more honest. Let's stop the pompous house. Let's stop putting on our best outfits and coming into a club and pretending that we like drinking like Prosecco or some crap out of a fancy glass, and go back to the era where the noises match the feelings in your head, right? You know what I'm saying? But also, if you like coffee, just have a nice coffee and sit outside in the patio. I don't know. Everyone eats their own.
No, that's all I'm doing right now, guys. Coffee. Okay, I drink a little bit here and there, but
now that we've just went on some pro chemical madness, that is not what we're saying, people. So we're up to the point in your life where you become a lesbian. Congratulations, and everything must have changed for you when you came back to Christianity, right? I mean, growing up and all of that. When did you discover the music? Because kicked ass. That was awesome. Like,
I know. I grew up with the music. I grew up singing in the church, so I grew up with it in me. Grew up, when I lived in DC, I was singing all the time. My friends were like, why aren't you professionally singing? But of course, it never even computed in my mind to be a professional singer at the time.
Can I
But
ask you a question in a way
mhm,
that might sound like an uncultured white man, right?
mhm.
But when you say singing in church, are you talking about when you see in the movies and it's like a black choir and they're doing it like it's because that I'm telling you now, there was a point in my life where if I had been taken to one of those churches where they made singing about religion super awesome, I might be walking a different path now. Because to me, white people church that I went to as a kid, have you seen it? Have you
Yeah,
seen this?
yeah.
Hang on, wait. It's like this. Hang on. It's like, what? What? At least I'm telling you now, I get it because
Yes.
there. I mean, it's all like I'm
Yeah.
I am for that so much, right?
Yeah.
And I slap Christianity a lot, right? I'm not gonna lie. But I'm telling you now, I'm just gonna say this. When I look at the gross, horrible things that have been done by preachers and things like that in that religion, 90% of them don't look like African Americans, right? I'm just saying, right? And I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's absent, right? But a lot of the people at the top of the, do you know like the place where the Pope lives? What the hell is that called? The Vatican. Do you know that's its own country?
Really?
The Vatican inside Rome. So Rome, country.
Yeah.
Italy,
Yeah.
country. The Vatican, where the Pope lives, is its own independent nation. Anything suspicious about that to you? Yes. So all I'm saying is,
really?
we've had popes that have actively told their staff, right? See, when you hear about them touching the kids and that, we're just going to keep it quiet, right? We've had bishops in New York and LA, one of the biggest payouts ever that they've had, that the church has had to pay out because of this. Now, I'm not saying there's no bad black people in the whole world of religion. I'm just saying, if we were to go through the last 250 convicted cases, my people are coming off way worse than yours. That's all I'm saying, right? So when you combine that,
that's a trick of the enemy too. That's a trick of the enemy.
Ron,
that's what he does to all of us, because the enemy wants us to feel like one group does this.
Yeah, I'm
and
with you.
that's where that's an enemy trick, because you can miss your blessing. You could also get severely hurt.
Yeah, I'm not saying,
but by grouping.
I'm not saying your people versus my people when we just break ourselves down to pure race, right? That's where my brain's gone, right? I'm not saying there's innocence there, right? But what I'm saying to you is, I spent 6-7 years chasing down criminal organizations and human transporters. When I look at data, right, because it's interesting. If I said to you, think of a serial killer in America, think of what you imagine a serial killer to be, right? Is a black male in his 30s.
Yeah, no, we definitely would think of serial killer as a white male in his 30s.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's because of historical context or whatever. So we think.
Listen, do you know what it is? I don't know what it is, right? But the news, if you own a news station, right, and you've got 10 African American serial killers running about out there, who cares? The minute that a white dude, right, is labeled as a serial killer, that is a fat news for some reason, right? And it's the same when violent gun crime goes down in a state, but coverage in the news goes up by 2,000%. So I completely agree with your argument of the shaping of a narrative through misinformation, right? But when you look at actual raw data, right, there's something going on, right? But but here's the other thing as well. I could bring up areas where my people and your people differ in loads of different areas of crime, and when it comes to children, right? But all I'm saying is, I think every church should adopt that. What is the name of it? There's a name. Gospel. It's gospel.
Gospel.
Listen, Christianity in the UK. You want to do something about revamping Christianity, bringing it into the 2025 for the white churches. You want to do something to make it more interesting. Okay, that's the one, because you do not have to be religious to accidentally get sucked into what is happening. All of a sudden you're like, all right,
no, because that's what that music is for. That people don't understand that, when you take gospel music, we have to take it back to David in the Bible, who was our psalmist, King David. And a lot of the gospel songs are from the Psalms that he wrote. But that's what it's for. The music has been used historically, one, to win wars. They did war dances before the war. So they were assigning, like, when you look at King David, he was assigning people to blow trumpets. He was assigning the singer. This was all before the war. And then they would go out and win the war. So the gospel music is designed to be soul opening so that you can be ready to receive the word.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you come in and you're hardened.
The beauty of it is, like, for example, if I was leaving a bar at 4 a.m. and for some reason there was a gospel choir on a corner, I'm probably going to lose an hour of my life that I don't recall. I'm not listening to the words. It's a vibration.
It is.
I'll be doing all this.
It's a feeling.
I'll be doing all this. I won't know I'm doing it, but man, I'm okay with that. I'm okay for all the cars to film me and put me on TikTok, because for me, it's not about a religious thing. That is the purest form of a magical. When we talk about words and spelling and casting spells, there is something intricately magical about what happens when a gospel choir goes bananas. But a good gospel choir, none of this nonsense crap, like a proper one, right?
Yeah.
Where you've got like, and I hate to say it, ladies, you got to have different sizes of ladies for different sizes of notes and all this kind of stuff. And I'm such a fan. And I'll tell you now, I would actually like to see. I want to do an experiment where we get gospel choirs with different languages. So like Vietnamese Christian gospel choir singing in Vietnamese. Would it matter? Would it matter? Because the vibe's the same, right?
I don't think so. I think it would be the same, because look, actually there is a clip. I wish I would know we were going to talk about this.
We're going to find some gospel choir.
Korean gospel choir. Put in Korean gospel choir at Faithful Central. Now they're singing in English, but they definitely probably sing in their language at their church. And I'm telling you,
listen, I feel like you're trying to take advantage of me now and make me play stuff in English to try and program people to Christianity. That wasn't the joke, okay? We're trying to find gospel in a different language.
Put in Korean gospel choir singing in Korean, Faithful Church.
Yeah, gospel.
Yes, Vanessa, mine too.
Sings in
music is my dopamine. Yes, it was. Somebody said, did she just say she put some pills into a punch? Yes, honey. Everybody got their pet. People forget.
Hang on. We're about. I don't know what this is. It's Acapulco Worship, the blessing. 4 years ago, 10 million views. Tell me it's crap. 10 million views. Tell me it's rubbish. Come on. What can I just say? I'm absolutely loving the way that this podcast is going right now, Dale. We are now. We're sitting right now talking about gospel music, and we're about to listen to gospel. This is science right here. Okay, science. As a Christian, do you feel more convinced of their Christianity because of the woolen jumpers? I feel like because the guy before had like on a white Aran knit, and I feel like they're the more Christians out of all the Christians in the room right now.
I feel like I'm like so eager to hear them sing, because music is already like grabbing me.
ADHD and autism, and I turned 9 seconds of content into 40 minutes of content earlier today. So oh, he's the leader. You can tell he's the leader because he's the smartest one. Like he's the one that's turned up knowing his uniform can't be misinterpreted.
No, like because he's feeling the spirit. Look at his face.
Oh, he's feeling the spirit. All right.
To the spirit right now. Yeah.
Oh, he's connected. I'm telling you right now, he's connected to not messing up, because this is South Korea. And if you know anything about K-pop and the way these things guys go through, this poor guy's probably been in a shipping container practicing for 4 weeks. Let's continue. Wow. I'm just going to say this now. See, if you ever form a band and you're that crap, you need fucking 10 of yous, right? Because no one has any actual talent. You have to divide up 10 seconds of talent between every. Oh, no, it's gospel. I take it all back. I forgot.
Yeah. No.
Back.
This is light.
Yeah, I take it all back. It's better in Korean.
I can feel this.
See if I put up. See, do you want to try and sing along with it? Probably not. Have they got the Korean translate? No, they've not.
Oh no. Oh, it's got the words right there. You and
I feel like if you're singing along in English, again, you're trying to program my audience to Christianity. I thought it would be fun in Korean, right? The Korean words.
They got the words right here.
Yeah. Well, I will be honest with you. I'm sucked in, but this is some nonsense. This is not gospel Korean. That was beautifully sung music by a bunch of Christian Koreans. That you see what I'm saying?
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Something about the name G. Go back. Put on Waymaker. Waymaker right there. Right there. Put on Waymaker.
I swear to God, if you convert any of my side chat to Christianity, right, we're going to have problems. Oh, I think you'd be a really good PR person for your religion. I
am.
I think you could.
I'm already a PR person.
I think you because I don't actually realize how deep in you converting me where we are right now. You're like, okay, following my 12 plans of converting the pagans back to Christianity. We're on stage 4 right now. How did we get to your singing to Korean?
Just go right into the middle. Just go right into the
build up. It's Harry Potter. It's Korean Harry Potter. You think this was COVID, but nah, they're just super paranoid in South Korea. See, nah. This is like taking a gospel choir and then giving them some UK crap style singing to do. I'm not seeing, for a start, nobody has done a high note where they have physically changed to another color because they're going, what? Like, none of that, right? I'm telling you, I'm not buying it. So at the moment, I'm the traditional.
So that's why I wanted you to put on that Korean choir at Faithful Central.
Yeah, but listen, again, I can't tell if I've been led into a Christian propaganda discussion or if we're just chatting as friends.
I did not bring it up. You brought it up.
Yeah, but that's what you want me. That's what you want me to think of Christians, right? And if I ask you and you say no, that's what you'd have to say. So listen, I just want to say, I've had a really good time. This is
me too. This was so fun, Ron, and thank you so much, audience, y'all, because y'all have really made it so fun. Thank you, Samson. Whenever you look at this on playback,
exactly. Yeah, I just want to say, it's exciting for me that I've had an opportunity to talk to somebody from such a different grown up. We both got to a fork in a road and went different ways, but again, we were so similar for so long. And it's great that we can sit here and really, you've not really learned much from me because I've not thrown anything at you in the way that you've just went straight into trying to turn me into a Christian, like subconsciously, but that's okay, right? Okay. Like if you're going to push anything, pushing Jesus is all right. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm all right with that. Because
I think what we've learned is we share a lot of the same views. People forget that we're more alike as humans than we are different.
Yeah, I'll be honest, just for your own career and brand, you do not know me well enough to make a statement like that and then me come back and bite you in the ass. So I just want to say, the reason I asked you about your religious experience and what brought you to that, yours is very much the story of, well, I was born into it, right? If we were to boil it down, you were born into your parents' religion, your culture, whatever, right?
Yeah, my grandma definitely took me to church.
So for 30 years of my life, I was not religious. I couldn't understand blind faith. I didn't get it. And then my God stood in front of me in the woods one night and changed my life. So I ask everyone about what brought them to religion because I was a godless non-believer until I was shown the path. So I'm not basing anything on blind faith. I was not religious until I was gestured to follow a deity. And it sounds crazy, and I know this will be the part of the interview where you're like, also, right, if you're going to watch this, guys, it gets to the end and he starts talking about meeting a god. I'm not any part of that, so I get how crazy it sounds. But when I say I'm a pagan witch, I am for pagans and witchcraft and the light and the dark as you are for the Christian God. And I'll die on my sword for it, metaphorically speaking. And I think I would have died a godless individual if it wasn't for that encounter, because I could never do the blind faith, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been easier being born into like a super religious family, right? That I can totally get, like in your case. But I always wonder about people's journeys because they differ so much. And you're, like I say, luckily you're the classic tale. Religion was basically handed to you. Your rite of passage with certain things that go terrible for some people went well for you. You stepped away from the religion and walked your own path, and then came back to it, went through a bit of a sassy period and readjusted your orientations. And now, you've done music, you've done stand-up, and I have to say, you're awesome. And I love
Thank you so much.
I love the internet, because if it wasn't for that, this discussion would never have happened. Let's be honest, right? We will never ever cross paths.
Yes.
And I would love to have you back, because there's various things that we are totally never going to agree on. And I think it would be really entertaining for some people to see us try and change each other's minds. Not on religion or anything like that, but on stupid crap that ties back to maybe our political things or our cultures or whatever. We'll pick some stuff, because I think you and I could have some of the most politically acceptable disagreements on things that the internet's ever seen.
I would love to come back. Tayshel, I see she said there's Christianity as Christ consciousness.
Yeah.
Which I am both,
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful
I would love
thing
to come back. To discuss whenever. To me, you're such a great guy, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Listen,
and also thank you for the tips you gave me too, because
I get Samson to connect us on WhatsApp, because you're a good lady and I'm happy to help. But next time we meet, I'm going to hit you with my side of the field, right?
Okay.
Because again, I have got some very interesting friends, and through their gifts have over many decades used their minds to find missing people. And when you're handed evidence like this, and police departments around the world bring these people in because their skill sets are real, I love introducing them to people like yourself, because I want you to meet a couple of people and then imagine if religion had done what it wanted to do and conquered the world in the way that it tried to do centuries ago, none of us would be able to have the conversations we're having right now. Because I'm a heathen, they would all be burnt as witches as well, as the same as me. And it fascinates me. All things based on religion fascinate me. So this conversation, like I say, 300 years ago, very different. I take away culture, race, all that, and just focus just on the religion. It blows my mind. And I love that we can have these conversations. But I would love to educate you and show you my side of my journey and things like that, because you ain't ever going to have heard a story like this one. So I would love to have you back and have that.
I would love to come back. I'll make sure Sam connects us on WhatsApp.
Yeah, we'll make sure he'll set up a room with him, me, and you in it. It's always the best way of doing that, and we'll get cracking. And I really appreciate your time, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And listen, if anyone that's on my Discord, we're definitely heading there for a Discord party that's almost an hour late. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much, Del, and we'll see you all in the next one.